Friday's all over, and Sunday's now here. Look at your neighbor, say, Friday's all over.
Friday's all over.
And Sunday's now here. Flowers are starting to fade. Chocolates are just about finished. The bling bling you got, you left it on the dressing table this morning. The sparkling cider you had, it's no longer cold, but it's hot.
All right.
Friday is no longer here. It's Sunday morning. The Message Bible says, if I speak with human eloquence and angelic ecstasy, but don't love, I'm nothing but the creaking of a rusty gate. If I speak God's word with power, revealing all mysteries and making everything plain as day, and if I have faith that says to a mountain, jump, and it jumps, but I don't love, I'm nothing. If I give everything I own to the poor and go to the stake to be burned as a martyr, but I don't love, I've got nowhere. So no matter what I say on Friday, no matter what I did on Friday, I'm still bankrupt without L-O-V-E, love. Love never gives up. Love cares more for others than for self. Love doesn't want what it doesn't have. Love doesn't strut. Doesn't have a swell head. Doesn't force itself on others. Isn't always me first. Doesn't fly off the handle. Help me, Jesus. Don't help you, help me. Doesn't keep score of the sins of others. Doesn't revel when others grovel. Takes pleasure in the flooring of truth. Puts up with anything. Trusts God always. Always looks for the best. Always looks for the best. Walls, I'm talking to you. Always looks for the best. Never looks back. But keeps going to the end. May the words of our mouth and the meditation of our heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, our strength and our redeemer. I know you really thought you had it together. So for the last 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you just thought that you were just an exceptional lover. I know you thought you had it going on, but today we're going to use for a topic. I don't know about you, but I've asked God to teach me to love. Is there anybody else in the building would say, God, teach me? Come on now, look at your neighbor. Say, God, teach me to love. I thought I really had it going on. I thought I really knew what love was about, but I'm understanding more and more every day that I don't have a glimpse, not even a clue, not even an iota of what love really is. So guess what? I decide I ain't going to read no more books because the books have their own interpretation. And yes, there's some folks that have some good experiences, but I'm going to the place, to the book that has the best antidote, the best recipe, the best ingredients to teach me how, I'm helping somebody, to teach me how to love. So today I'm asking God, is there anybody else in the building that would join me in asking God to teach me? Come on now, hit your chest and say, teach me, Lord, teach me how to love. Teach me, God, how to love. Oh, you may be seated in the presence of the Lord. Teach me how to love. Teach me how to love. Teach me how to love. It is the Foreigners, the British American rock band that says, I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. I want to feel what love is. Oh, I'm helping somebody today. We really thought that the foreigners know what they were talking about. Because for many years, we have been experimenting with this thing called love. I began to reflect on my expressions of love to Dawn. Because I was the person who would go to Hallmark and spend a few moments there because I wanted to ensure that the cards that I was buying said something. So I didn't just walk into them. Now come on, if you are buying a card for somebody that don't mean nothing, you just going eeny, meeny, miny, mo, bam. You pull it out, you walk to the cashier and you pay for it. But if you want that when the person read this, you know, it really does something. And then I would go and buy all these little hearts, and every time I write a word, I stick a heart on there. These were some powerful words. And then I made sure I stopped now because a lot of responsibility came along. But you know, I was always treating her with bling blings. Am I like it? Didn't take her. But as I grew, I realized that love is more than what we do.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Because somebody Friday night,
Come on, man.
somebody had an awesome Friday,
Yeah, all right.
but they didn't have an awesome Friday night. They got flowers Friday morning, red, beautiful flowers. And Friday night, their eyes were shuttered red. Because either they cried themselves to sleep, or they picked up a slap that they didn't expect. Walls, I'm talking to you. Somebody went to the finest restaurant in Houston, Texas. But I'll come by to tell you, when they wake up Saturday morning, they forgot all about the steak or the filet mignon that they ate on Friday night. I was sharing with the folks on Friday morning that one of the difficulties we're having as individuals as it relates to this thing called love is because we are struggling with self-love. It's impossible for George to love Dawn if George doesn't love George. You can't give something you yourself is not a carrier of. So therefore, once George has identified the characteristics of love, George could then love Dawn the way he's expected to love Dawn, and then it can be reciprocated. The reason why we put up with foolishness is because you haven't learned to love yourself. When I've learned to love myself, I'm going to say, you're not going to talk to me like that. And I'm going to allow you to believe it's an acceptable, I'm helping somebody, it's an acceptable behavior. When I understand love and I understand what love is all about and I understand how I want to be treated, and I'm going to treat you the way I'm expecting you to treat me. Anything lower than that is I'm helping somebody, is unacceptable. So many of us have a problem loving ourselves. Because we say, yes, I understand you're here this weekend. That doesn't mean you love yourself. You got some nice, you got your nails done and your toes. You have on red like me. That doesn't mean nothing. The folks that have on red, and they ain't in love. Somebody sent themselves flowers on Friday. Oh, I'm helping somebody. I remember the days. Yes, I remember the days at LTD. Yes, early days. There were all sort of flowers showing up. Only to find out later on
Come on.
that there are folks that used to send. I said, these folks are lost. It's only a madman. You have to be insane to send flowers to the job for yourself. And then when they deliver, George, there's a delivery for, oh, he said it. If this isn't insanity, tell me what is. You tell me what is. I'm going to send flowers to the job for myself and impress everybody on the job that somebody loves me. Now, if you're sending for yourself, just tell the truth. You said, I send it for myself. I love myself. But no, he shouldn't have. Shouldn't who? Am I helping somebody today? We have got to love ourselves. If you don't love yourself, ain't no way you're going to be able to love anybody else in this building today. If you're not happy with yourself, guess what? Ain't no way you're going to be happy with anybody else in this building. And what I'm learning when I come in contact with folks that don't love themselves and don't feel good about themselves, I'm not taking on your baggage. I'm not allowing you to wear me down. I'm not allowing you to stress me out. Because you're stressed out. You're going to pack me up with your mess. Oh, I'm helping somebody. You're free to leave. The doors are open. Go ahead and just go ahead. Let them go, Bernard. Anybody want to leave, they're free to go. Well, there are two important relationships to God. Two. God is concerned about our relationship to Him. And secondly, God is concerned about our relationship with our fellow man. Pastor, can you prove it? Yes. When you go to Exodus chapter number 20, from verses 2 to 17, you will realize as God lays down his relationship with fellow man, this is what he said, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make any other graven image. Thou shalt not bow down and serve or serve them. Thou shalt not take up the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor, and on the 7th day thou shalt rest. All of these happen to do with what? Man's relationship with whom? With God. But later on, there's a change in the commandments, because now it's moving from man's relationship with God to man's relationship with his fellow man. Well, how do you explain that? Well, he says, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long. Then he goes on to say, thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thy neighbor's wife, thy maidservant. Am I helping anybody in the house? So here in Exodus chapter 20, it's established where God's two most important relationships. How I interact with him and how I interact with my fellow man. Our problem is we believe that we can have exceptional relationships with God.
Come on now.
But you want to treat me like I'm some sort of doormat that you could just walk. I'm helping somebody. That you could just walk all over. So, oh God, I love you, Father. I worship you, but you talk to me like I'm crazy. Oh, I'm helping somebody. Come on now, I'm helping somebody. Because you see, what we have gotten ourselves caught up in over all these years is acts of love and demonstration of love. I could demonstrate a kind or a love deed, and it doesn't mean that I love you. Oh, I'm helping somebody. After Dawn has put on the bling bling, how I treat her when we go home is symbolic of the love. How was your day, honey? Oh, it was a rough day. Baby, can I make your bath water for you? What do you want me to put inside of it? Would you like me to make you a cup of coffee or tea? Oh yeah, you can make it. I'm not saying that's the way she carries on. I'm just explaining. Baby, would you want some cream in there? Little sugar. I'm helping somebody. You see, love does not reciprocate what it gets. The flesh does that. The flesh would allow it. Or you want to have an attitude? But make your own coffee. Make your own. Am I helping somebody? Make your own tea. Get up and get your own. Fix your own bath water. And when you need a towel, get your own towel. Am I helping somebody today? Oh, teach me, teach me. Teach me, Lord, teach me. Come on, anybody else want to say, Lord, teach me, teach me, Lord, teach me, teach me. Teach me. Teach me. This morning I was sitting down and I tried to see if I could give instructions to my body parts.
All right.
And would they react?
And see if there would be any sort. So I sat in the office earlier before I went home and came back, and I said, hands, go out, bring me the water that's sitting on the table. Realized that the hands never moved. I said, feet, go to the back to the fellowship hall. Don't forget you got to put on the AC. And I realized that the feet never moved. I'm getting frustrated because I'm speaking to the hand and I'm expecting the hand to move, and I'm speaking to the feet and I'm expecting the feet to move, and only to realize that this body
All right. Come on now.
must work in conjunction with each other. That the feet is going to do the walking, but when the feet get to the pulpit, the feet can't start scrolling on the iPad. I might be able to try, but it'll be difficult to get these feet up here. So when the feet get to the pulpit, the feet now has to back off because it did its part. And now the hand now can begin to scroll. Am I helping somebody? Then when it's time to speak to you, guess what? The feet can do no speaking and the hand can do no speaking. Now the lips, oh, I'm helping somebody already now. Now the lips now must be able to do what? Must be able to utter. I'm helping somebody to utter. When we understand the true dynamics of love, we understand that we walk and operate in. I'm helping somebody. We operate in sync. I know you wish you were island, but you ain't. I know you wish you were an island, but you ain't an island. I'm helping somebody this morning. So this morning you may ask me what love is not. Can I tell you? Love is not what you say. Stop saying it. It's what you do. What do you mean, Pastor? Well, look at how Paul put it. He says, if I speak with human eloquence, meaning there are some of us who could talk. How are you doing today? Hey, can I get your telephone number? What time are you going to be home this evening? Can I hit you up about 5 o'clock? What are you doing for dinner this evening? You know, the more bass in the voice, it does something. You know? By the time the voice, it does something. And then you just all of a sudden, you see the lady. And also, we get all taken away by what we hear. Come on now. You see, we are moved by what we hear. Let me wake you up this morning. It is Paul that said, don't be moved by human eloquence. I had a young lady that told me she went on a date one night. I told you all about these internet datings. Those of you watching me on streams, stay away from the internet dating. Meet this person on the internet and they go out to eat dinner. And listen, go on a date. Who you think treats? She did. And when they're all finished, she pays the bill, she leaves the tip, and then the bro said, man, could you hit me up with a 20? I said, well, did you go out with him? Oh, no, Pastor. I said, that better be. I'll smack you across the top of your head. It's really not difficult for us to understand love. Because, like I say to you, once you have established a boundary, a platform by which love should operate, then it is easy for you and I to do what? To write down and to establish somewhat expectations. But when we haven't laid down or established any expectations, everybody's going to come up with his or her own definition of what love really, I'm helping somebody, love what really means. So love is not what I say, but it's what I do. Now, please understand, there are many people you're going to come in contact with that loves to exert their power and authority. Anybody that tries to control you, you've got to be mindful of that type of. I'm trying to help somebody now. Please understand, as a dad, as a husband, not too much as a pastor, but more as a dad and a husband, I've got to understand that in my demonstration of love to Dawn and in my demonstration of love to my 5 favorites, that I can, even though I find myself guilty many times, I can exert authority. Because exerting authority is not demonstration of love, but demonstration of control. Help me, somebody. If you marry somebody and you can't go to the mall unless they're tracking you down every 5 minutes, something is wrong with the picture. But it didn't just start. You knew that before you said I do. He was tracking you down when you were dating. Come on, I'm helping somebody. He was going through the phone when I'm helping somebody. You see, when we love each other, there's no need for me to try to control you. Oh, because guess what? Love is not controlling. Love is pure. Oh, I'm helping somebody. Love is not controlling. Love is pure. What do you say? Well, you don't have to scratch my back to scratch yours. Our problem is everything we do is done with a motive. Wives, you're guilty. Husbands, you're guilty. Children, you're guilty. We all do things with motives. And what God is saying, love is pure. Love doesn't have a motive. So therefore, if I bought groceries today for you, and tomorrow you curse me out, I don't need to go back now and to dig up the seed of groceries that I gave. Because when I gave you the groceries, when I filled the pantry, it was not contingent upon you doing something back. I'm helping somebody. Doing something back for, I'm helping somebody. Stop keeping a report card, wives. Stop keeping a report card, husbands, of all that you do for your... I'm helping somebody. You can't keep a report card. Why? Love doesn't keep no report card. Walls. I'm talking to you. If you're like me, I'm one of those dads that at times I've got to understand that Dawn is going to love. There's a special love in her heart for the 5 faves.
That's differentiated.
Maybe sometimes I try to compete with that love. Can I be real today? Because I'm telling you, moms, I mean, Dawn just turns the world upside down. But guess what? She's mom. You know, the other day got Josiah, and we were leaving a place, and all I see is a Cadillac pull up. She waved. Then 20 minutes later, we go someplace else, and me and Josiah, and she shows up again. I said, this lady, who is it? I don't see her show up like this for me. Can I just be real with you? And then the Lord begins, he said, that's a mother's love. You can't compete with a, he said, I like the way the Lord speaks to me. He said, she didn't push you out. I don't know how the Holy Ghost talked to you. He talked to me. He said, she didn't push you out. He said, she didn't hold you in her hands and rock you. He said, she Holy Ghost then. He didn't nurse on her breasts. I'm just trying to help you. He said, you can't compete with a mother's love. And sometimes, because of our own voids in our lives, I'm helping somebody because I'm helping George. Because of our own voids in our lives, because of our own emptiness in our lives, because George Knight Sr. didn't give George Knight George Knight Jr. something that was vital, because Grace Knight never imparted something, and God is saying, I didn't call Dawn to be your mother, I didn't call her to be your father, I called her to be your wife, and I'm helping somebody. She can't be wife, she can't be mother, and she sure can't be father to you. And many times we are expecting things from our spouses because there are voids in our lives that we have to go helping somebody.
Good, Pastor.
There's some voids. So I just realized, guess what? Can't compete. That's a mother's love. All I can get is the hussy's love. And guess what? Wake up and realize it. All we gonna get, men, is the hussy's love. But we have got to come to the point to understand that the hussy's love is not inferior to the mother's love. It's just a different kind. It's a different kind of love. It's a different kind of love. Because when the baby cries, we have to try to figure out, was it Joelle? Was it Natalia? Was it Josiah? Was it Melissa? Was it Charity? I have to try to figure it out as the daddy. But when's mama here? When she hear the cry, oh, that's Josiah. Oh, that's Melissa. That's I'm helping somebody. Does it make sense to try to compete with the love? Why? Because it's a different kind of love.
Oh, you working on the day, man.
Love is not what I do, but it's my character.
That's what it is.
In our home, we always have what's called intense fellowship. And many times, the two oldest ones, well, let's add the three oldest ones, would really tell Dad how they feel. Up to yesterday, they told me how they felt. And it was intense. And at times, I don't even see what they're saying at the time. And nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong if you didn't see it then. But go back and listen. That approach don't work no more, Daddy. People say, what do you want? It worked all these years. It worked for me. But it doesn't work.
Come on.
And what the Lord is helping me to understand is that my perception is not your perception. And that my reality is not your reality. And the Holy Spirit said this morning, I'm happy for the Holy Spirit. He said, George, you can't continue to try to make them see your reality while you ignore theirs.
God is good, man.
This morning I went back home and picked up my only son, and we went for a drive this morning and had a good little time of fellowship where he could say to Dad where Dad could not hear him, but listen. Because we hear. listening means I'm willing to do something with what I heard. And listening means I'm willing to go back and say that I'm sorry. And it was not my intent. What I said was not the intent, or maybe you misconstrued it, but remember, their reality doesn't change the fact that that's their reality. You may say something to me and say, Pastor, that is not what I meant, but guess what? That is how I received it. So therefore, if it's not how you meant it, guess what? Only one person can fix that. That's who? You. You have said, Pastor, that wasn't my intent. My intent was A, B, C, D, and I could say, okay, it was E, F, G, and then guess what? It was H, I, J, K, and then it was L, M, N, O, P. Am I helping somebody today? We have got to understand that love is character.
Come on.
Not George's character. God's character. Because God had to remind George is that, he said, listen, do you think if I was to keep a report card, from the time you reach the age of accountability, because I was giving, listen, I was cutting up from 4. I'm 51 now. So you look at 51, well, I start behaving maybe around 40, maybe 40. I really got, really behaved. But before, whoa! God said, if I was to keep a report card of all them years, he said that if I was to throw it in your face every time you messed up, he said, do you know why you're standing today? He says it's L-O-V-E, love got you standing. Why? He said every time you messed up, I still looked beyond your faults and I saw your need. He said when you messed up next Sunday, I looked beyond your fault and I still saw your need. Why? Because love. He said love drew me. Oh, I'm helping somebody. He said love drew me in. But guess what? Love has to draw us in. That we got to put up with some, come on now, we got to put up with some stuff. It's easy now. It's tough. Putting up with some stuff. Why? Because self wants what self wants. I didn't say love. I said self wants what self wants. Love is saying, you know what? It's not how I feel. It's how Dawn feels. I was saying to a young man a few days ago, I said, I want you to think about this. If Dawn's number one priority would be all George, and George's number one priority would be all Dawn, we won't have no problems. Why? Because her focus will not be on her needs, and my focus will not be on my needs. I will be 100% thinking about what I can do today to show her how much I love her, and she will be thinking about what she can do today to show me how much she loves me. What did we just both do? Deny ourselves. For what? The bigger goal. What is what? Love. So we have just eradicated and eliminated all the problems we've got, because guess what? All she's thinking about, oh boy, I'm going to do today to show my boo I love you. Am I helping somebody today? But the moment we stop and begin to think about,
that's real.
And if I'm here, she didn't even tell me she loved me this morning. I said good morning and she didn't answer. I made her breakfast and she didn't even eat it. Come on now. And the moment we start focusing in on ourselves, we lose focus of what the real thing behind love is. Am I helping somebody? Please understand this morning, love is not giving or serving to be seen.
All right, come on now. Speak on it.
Too many times we want brownie points. I love it, I'll be honest with you. The other day I made some steaks, T-bones. It's tough to make food that you're not eating. I mean, it was delicious and I didn't eat. And everybody giving the steak praise. but not recognizing, who fixed it. So everybody said, oh, Charity, oh, the steaks are delicious. I mean, that sounds good, LT, but I want to hear with Dad. What she's saying, and they're thinking, so I'm hanging around and I'm waiting. I'm just being real with you. I'm hanging around and I'm waiting to, they're saying the steaks are good. I understand the steaks are good, but you just saying the steaks are good, don't say nothing. I want to hear, Dad. They say nothing. They're cutting into the steak, and I'm waiting. I'm being honest. I'm sitting at the table and I'm waiting. And they're deliberately not giving me the affirmation and attention that I want. I'm helping somebody today. Love is not doing something to be seen. Many times we do things with ulterior motives. What God is saying, if it's coming from a pure place, don't worry that nobody called your name. Don't worry that nobody said thank you. It's coming from a pure, I'm helping somebody. It's coming from a pure place. Yesterday, we made some pâtés yesterday. Beef pâtés and saltfish. And I didn't look for the praise yesterday because it was a united effort. I did mixing of the dough, and Dawn and Charity, I even said, Charity girl, you're doing good at this. Daddy trained you well. She gave me one of them faces. Just like the sense of humor. But in reality this morning, if you do something and it really bothers you when you're not recognized for it, it's a check. Please understand, it's a check. It's a check. If they didn't recognize me for the steak and it affected my day, I got mad and upset and angry, it's a check. We got to understand when we see us displaying attitudes because we weren't recognized, or because nobody said thank you, or we weren't appreciated, it's time for the check. Because it's telling you that something is there. I don't care how much you say it, something is there. And the quicker you admit that something is there, the quicker you can get it resolved. Because guess what? It ain't going to be the first time you're going to be not recognized, and it's sure ain't going to be the last. And every time you ain't recognized because you didn't address it the first time, you realize now your attitude starts to change. What you used to do it with joy. You were vacuuming the church and you were coming in. I will enter, you all over the vacuum. But nobody calling your name? I will enter. Bang! His stage will bang it. Bang! I'm helping somebody. You miss a spot and you don't even care. Why? Because you didn't address that trigger. Let's call it a trigger. You didn't address that sensitive matter that has really upset you and really turned you off. In closing today, I want you to go to Romans chapter number 12, verse number 19. It says, dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord. What is this verse actually saying? It says, don't hit back. That's what it's saying. Don't hit back. Discover beauty in whom? In everyone. You've got to get along with everybody. You mean that's possible? Yes. The word of the Lord saying, if it be possible, live at peace with all men. Being at peace with you don't mean we agree. Just mean we ain't got to be rank and carry on and clown and act a fool. But live at peace. Listen, this love walk, we have messed up on it too long. And the reason we have messed up on it too long is because it calls us to do something that we're not willing to do.
All right. All right.
Love is always going to put you to the test.
Yes, it will.
Landon, come a minute. Love is always going to put you to the test. Always. Always going to put you to the test. Bring the chair from here. Always going to put you to the test. Love is always going to put you to the test. Let's face it forward. Thank you, son. Love is always going to put you to the test.
Yeah.
And what God is saying to us today, the only how we're going to get this thing right is that the love is going to be tested. You ready for the test? Because it's not easy. It's not easy putting the love to the test. Is it?
No, sir.
No. Because when the love has been tested, it's going to prove whether everything is good here or it's not. Come on up, Charlie. Leave those shoes down there. I would pick one of these men, but I don't want to put them on the spot. You know, some of us, like me, sometimes have some holes in your socks. So, our love is going to be tested. Jesus was able to put the love to the test. Because, listen, it's easy to serve people who mean you well. It's easy. It's easy to scratch your back when you scratch mine. But I realize ain't that easy when you either have done me evil or you're planning on doing evil. Then it changes everything. Peter is getting ready to clown. He is. And Jesus is aware that he's getting ready to clown. And listen to what Jesus says. Petera, we're changing it up. Petera, I want to wash your feet. Oh no! No. Why? Now, I want you to picture it now. I'm getting ready to do evil to you. And you want to wash my feet. Petera is not saying no because of pride or arrogance. Patera is saying no because Patera knows what is in store. And many times people who always have motives of doing something bad never accept the things that you do. So the way that they deal with, no, you gotta bring me down to eat. You gotta bring me down. No, it's okay. You don't gotta give me no water. It's okay. You don't gotta give me a ride home. No, it's okay. Jesus said, Patera, if you don't allow me to wash your feet, I have nothing to do with you. Patera couldn't deal with that. Why? Remember, I tell you, motives gonna always show itself. So Patera now, oh Jesus, man, Jesus, come on now, I'm one of yours. You can wash my head, my elbow, my knee, my belly, come on, just wash. Now Jesus is about to demonstrate what this love thing is really about. I want us to think of the posture, because in washing someone's feet requires a posture of servanthood. And it ain't easy getting in a posture of servanthood when the person you are about to serve have either done you evil or is about to do evil. I'm helping somebody. And what Jesus does, he gets in a position of servanthood. You and I know the people at the nail shop. They should be commended. Because it's a job and not everybody is called to do. Because you and I know the condition of these feet at times are in all sorts of condition. But when they finish with you, man, I'm telling you, they turn it out. When they ran their hand first, it was rough. When they ran their hand the second time, it's smooth. Jesus Christ is getting ready to do a penny. It is? It's correct, right? Penny. Is it penny? Yes. Jesus is getting ready to do a penny. Listen, he's going down in history for doing a penny because he's not being compensated for the penny. Ain't no tips involved. Come on now. But guess what? He's getting ready to do a penny. Look at the condition. Look at the condition. But he must demonstrate love. Patera must understand that it doesn't matter what she does. It doesn't matter what she's going to do. It doesn't change the love that Jesus Christ has for her. So he gets in a posture of servanthood. And then he begins to wash her feet. Crusty feet. Feet that has been walking on the road. He washes, and listen, he's not doing it with an attitude. He's doing it from a place of love. So he's taking his time and he's washing the feet of Patera because he wants Patera to understand that he really loves her. And it doesn't matter what she's going to do when she leave here today. I still love her. Am I helping somebody? Now I want you to picture in your mind, begin to wash the feet in your mind of somebody who just talked about you this morning. Come on. They just said some hurtful things about you. They did you some stuff a couple days ago. And guess what? Jesus is washing Patera's feet because he wants Patera to understand, I am practicing humility 101. Well, come on. This is humility 101. Ain't got no other form of humility than for a person to get down on their knees and to wash your feet.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Not only was Peter's feet washed, not only was Peter's feet washed, but Judas' feet was washed as well. It's interesting in these two stories as we close today, though. Patera's life is changed because he leaves there with an experience that changes the whole trajectory of his life. He's now going and proclaiming and declaring, and Patera, who was now fearful, is Patera, who is now bold. But Judasa, on the other hand, had to leave from his feet being washed, and eventually went out, found him a rope, and took his own life because he had never seen love demonstrated like that before.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be awesome? That we will demonstrate love to the people that we come in contact with. That listen, it will literally blow their mind trying to figure out how could a person do what they did, realizing what I did to them. I know how. Because Jesus understood that vengeance belongs to the Father. That he will repay. There's no need for you to try to get even with the people who have done you wrong. No need. The way we overcome evil is to overcome evil with good. The way we deal with folks who don't love us is to love them with all you, come on now, love them with all you got. Maybe you got to go home today and make a sandwich. Make two. Thank you, sweetheart. Make one for them and make one for you. Come on now. Make two sandwiches. Look at your neighbor. Say, come on, he's talking to you. Make two sandwiches. Take a plate of food for you and take a plate of food for them. I'm helping somebody. Listen, I'm helping somebody. Listen. It is not a task that we're going to accomplish overnight. It's a work. Pastor, I've been working on it for 20 years. I've been working on it for 51 years. And I still haven't mastered it. But one of the important things that I understand is that the closer that I get to Jesus, and the more that I understand his character, and understand his characteristics, and walk in love, it becomes easier every day to love people who are unlovable. Let today be the final day that you think about yourself. Walls, I'm talking to you. Let it be the day, beginning today, February the 16th, 2020. Listen, I'm turning the script. It's no more about me, myself, and I. It's no more about my four and no more. I am making a determination today to walk out this love thing the way that Jesus compels me to walk it out. And I am guaranteed, listen, I'm guaranteed that if I do it God way, not George way, if I do it God way, I'm going to reap the rewards. Every head bow, every eye closed. We pray for those that are watching us via streaming this morning. Lord, teach us to love. You tell us in your word that love is patient and it's kind and it's not puffed up. It's not easily provoked. Does not think of itself. Oh God, we pray right now in the name of Jesus that every person that's listening to us, that is watching us via streaming today, God, will experience the God kind of love, God. That it will be their heart's desire today to say, Father, teach me how to love. Help us to let go of the past. The past hurts, the past pain, the past rejection. Oh God, help us to let go of it today and to love our fellow man like we love ourselves. Seal this word to our hearts. We give you praise, we give you glory, and we give you honor in Jesus' name. Amen. Everybody standing all over the sanctuary today. Everybody standing.